CEO.
Yeah. Yep.
Yeah. Um, he just asked if we wanted to get like J&A apparel put on the website for like good stuff. So it's like,
Dude,
yeah,
yeah, that'd be dope. That's crazy.
yeah, yeah. No, it's crazy.
Because that website's booming too.
Yeah, yeah. No, it'd be. I can't imagine what that would look like, but I'm like, dude, hell yeah.
Yeah, I know. Okay, so honestly today, I was supposed to have a group of guys that were all gonna be in a room with me, but we weren't able to get it booked. So I just told the guys I was gonna hop on a Zoom with you and just ask some of the questions they had. So I got a few questions from the
Perfect.
guys, and on top of that, I'll just ask you a few more that I asked you like a year ago. Just like some of
Hmm.
the key questions that are just like good to hear. And I'm just recording the entire thing, so I'll just like put this up when I'm done, put it into a video and just share it with the guys.
Hell yeah.
Um, I have like 10 guys at Iowa right now that are all like interested in growing their future, becoming successful. And you were just one of the guys I reached out to, and I was like, it'd be super cool to get someone on the other end of just like actually doing what they love. Like, 'cause there's a lot of guys I know that they're making a shit ton of money, but they've worked their ass off to get where they are, and they might not enjoy as much as what they've done. Where
Hmm.
you're on chase your dreams, dude, get exactly what you want to do, and you're living your life. So it's like it's just cool to have that side of the aspect to it as well. So
Yeah, for sure. Thank you.
yeah,
What?
so
So
one
tell me a little bit about the group.
So it's just something that I started like literally like 2 weeks ago. I just like put something on our Iowa story. So all the colleges have like these huge stories. I already know a bunch of guys too that just like were interested in like growing something bigger than themselves. Just like because it's kind of hard and like obviously you're from the middle of nowhere in Michigan. We're the same in Iowa. So it's kind of hard to like find people with like-minded, kind of like just like looking for the same goal and outcome.
Yeah.
So I've just been like posting things and reaching out to a lot of people that I know. And obviously, like with the content and stuff that I've been sharing online, I've been like, people have been drawn to like what I've been doing as well. So I've just been kind of like reaching out to everyone and saying, hey, like I kind of want to get this group put together where I bring in people that I know because I know people all over the country just from networking and talking to people throughout the years. And I was like, I
Mhm.
want to bring these guys in and just like give you guys some input and information on what I've learned from them that would be useful and helpful to these guys. So
Awesome.
I've just had a bunch of guys come and reach out to me and say, yeah, I'd love to just hear people's stories and just kind of like get a take on what they've gone through and how they've got to where they are.
Yeah. So it's like a group of just like-minded people who just want to achieve something, pretty much.
Yeah, all from like freshmen to seniors in college. So 18
Awesome.
years to 21, 22-year olds. So it's like, so let's just get it started as like to how it started, I guess. Like take it back to like you when you were starting J&A, you and your boys, just like from the beginning, kind of, just like a little rundown.
Yeah, yeah. So like taking it back further, honestly, like I've always had the knack for entrepreneurship, like independence, want to get after it, like want to be like quote unquote my own boss, even though it's like you are your own boss, but if you're your own boss, you're working, 24/7, not 9 to 5 type thing. Like lemonade stands, I remember figuring out that if you ask for donations only with lemonade stands, like you'll make more money. People will give you $5 bills instead of 25 cents. And like hoverboarding like around the neighborhood, delivering like lemonades and hot dogs and stuff like that. And then John and I live right next to each other, so we've always been best friends. We came together, what would it have been? Junior year maybe, and we're like let's make money, like let's do something. So we got into crypto, NFTs, created like this group of people where we would talk about game and stuff like that. I think we had like 1,600 people in the group. And then when crypto kind of flatlined, we were like, all right, we want to do something we actually love, are passionate about. And we've always loved making YouTube videos. Like I've been making YouTube videos since I was in fourth grade. John was with me. We were next door neighbors. I think he started in like sixth grade. So we've always loved making YouTube videos. And I love golf. I've been a golfer my entire life, and I grew up watching Good, I guess you could say, as weird as that sounds. Whenever they started 4 or 5 years ago now. So watching them starting in like eighth grade, Garrett, before that, I was like, I want to do what they do. So we started with the idea of making apparel. And then we're like, wait a minute, I don't like running an apparel business. I don't care about all the like the logistics and the supply chain. I was like, screw that. I just want to make videos. So September of 2022, we started making videos. We had a guy, it was like, in high school, you always have the photographer guys who just are always with the camera in their hands. There's like two or three of them walking around the high school. So we got one of them. We're like, yo, come join us. Like, he was into golf, so I was like, this is perfect. He would literally edit, film, do everything for us, and then we'll just play golf. Long story short, after 2 videos, he left, and we're like, well, shoot. So we got our third best friend, Owen, top on board, literally a week or two into it. So the three of us started it, started short form, and we were like, all right, what do we actually want to achieve here? Like, what is the main goal? And it's number one, make the best videos possible. What are you trying to achieve by doing that? And it's just build that cult like following, that audience that just follows you nowhere or wherever you go. And that's not done with how we were doing short form. So we decided to move our focus over to long form because up until a year ago, we were pulling 3,000 views a video. So it was like we were spending literally every single waking hour thinking about making these videos and no one was watching it for a solid year and a half. And by that time, John and I had already dropped out of college and Owen was about to drop out of college. And I remember sitting in, I'm not sure if you know like the whole girl story, but like we were sitting in Paige's basement and because it's John's family. So we were sitting in John's family's basement and we're like, boys, like this is like if this doesn't work by the summer, like it's over. And because by that time we will have been doing it for 2 years. We dropped out of college, our family was breathing down our neck, and it was like this is do or die. So we'd filmed a bunch of videos, we'd flown out there twice by this time, like spent our own money, literally had probably $1,000 left in the bank account. Like, screw, like, what is going on here, boys? Kept making videos, kept obsessing, kept trying to get better. Like, that was the only goal. And finally, we posted the page date video and it took off. Like, this was literally like our last hope. And I documented it all on my vlog channel. I was like, I think this is going to be the video. And like, if this takes off, this could literally change everything. And it took off. It was like first day 10,000 views. I was like, holy crap. Next day 30,000 views, then 70, then 100. And then it was like it took off to 350,000 views, whatever it's at now. And that's kind of like when everything started changing. And we're like, what can we learn from this? And it's like, okay, just make better videos, like just hyper obsess over making the best thing possible. And I think that's kind of been our North Star up until now, and it will continue to be because now we have a full-time animator. We've been literally, Owen was up till 8 a.m. filming or editing the video that's going out today, on a call with our editor that we're training to be full-time. So full-time animator, future full-time editor. We've got me, John, Owen, who are also working full-time plus, and then we've got an advisor who helps us here locally. So, I mean, it's just full bore ahead. It's try and make the best videos possible and get as good as you can as fast as possible.
Yeah,
So
and
that's
I
yeah.
and I still think that's funny because I remember that day too. Like when you posted that page video, I remember you were at the range like the next day or like the day you posted it, and you were like posting updates like every 10 minutes about like, dude, we're at 5K, dude, we're at 10K. And you like kept posting on your story like, dude,
Yeah.
this is blowing up, and it was just
Uh,
funny to like watch that. But
yeah.
it was super cool. Like, um, and another message a guy had or question a guy had was, how do you define success now versus like success then? Like when you were starting up, did you think of success as something different than as what you see it as now?
I mean, I think like obviously I can't really pinpoint success. Like there's not just one thing.
Yeah.
It's like a whole lot of things. It's like proving my parents wrong. It's like actually proving that I can do something big, proving that I can make better videos than, that what I could in fourth grade, that I could actually get views and like build traction and actually make something out of myself. It's actually creating something that I'm proud of. Um, and then it's also like showing that I could hang with the big boys. You know what I mean? Like go hang with the Brian Bros or go hang with Busta Jack or like go. Like I remember there was a time where we hopped on a call with Cole. It was February of 2022, 23 maybe. I don't. It was a while ago. Um, yeah, timeline's kind of getting screwed, but it was a while ago, and at this time we were no one, and we're like, one day we're gonna film with you, and then this summer, like we did it, we made it happen. So it's just like how do I define success? It's honestly like personally, it's squeezing every inch and ounce of potential out of me that I physically can. It's like knowing when I put my head on the pillow at night that I did as much as I could. Because at the end of the day, as long as you do that, there's nothing else in your control. Like you can't control the views on YouTube. You can't control if people like your video or not. You can just control what you did and what you put into it. So if you know you did as much as you physically could, you can sleep at night, or at least that's how I am.
Yeah. Do you think going into it, you guys put 100+% in every single day? When you guys were down at the point where you were a year and a half in, said it's ride or die here, like we need to get this done. Do you guys think you guys were putting in as much time as possible just to make that happen?
I mean, I think there's always like more hours you could squeeze out of the day. Like maybe you
Yeah.
spend like 20 minutes on the toilet scrolling for too long or whatever it might be.
Yeah.
But like at the end of the day, I remember John actually just said this recently. He's like, dude, in high school, like you were unbearable. Like I couldn't breathe around you without you being like, why aren't you focusing on videos? Like I remember getting mad at Owen because he had a girlfriend at the time, and he still has a girlfriend, but a different girl at the time, and he was like talking to her and playing games on his phone. I was like, this is valuable time we could be spending working and thinking about videos and ideating and how we could get better. And so it was pure obsession. I mean, I don't think there was like an hour that went by where I didn't think about YouTube or making videos, and it's still
Yeah.
that same way today. It's just like I still don't feel like I'm doing enough, and it just like it irks me. Like I can feel my skin crawling, where it's like I just need to get better, you know. And that's what I talked to Josh, like my best friend, about. And I was like, it's just like, how can I make better videos? Like, how can I do more? How can I squeeze every inch and ounce of potential out of me? And if I do that, which I don't think I'll ever be able to like fully do it, but
Yeah.
if I can do that, I'm doing something right.
Do you think there's like a balance between work and still settling down and having time to like do other things outside rather than just putting all of your hours into getting one thing done?
Yeah, yes. I see. I'm different than most guys. Like,
Yeah.
don't go out, I don't party, I don't drink. Like,
Yep.
and I see that is a competitive advantage where it's like most guys will cope and be like, well, in my college, I can do X, Y, and Z. It's like one Friday won't hurt, but then it's like one Friday turns into two Fridays and three and
Yeah.
then four, five, and it's like it just depends on your like level of success and what you actually want to achieve. Like it depends on the level of what you actually want to achieve and what you think about daily because what you aren't willing to sacrifice, someone else is. So it's just at the end of the day, it's upon you. But there's also a harmony to it where I don't want to like in 40 years look back and be like, dude, I never spent any time with my family. I never
Yeah.
went to a family dinner. I never like at the end of the day, it's like work and family because that's another thing. You know, Josh, my best friend here, is like, dude, because he did like he'd made it on YouTube. Like he knows what he's doing on YouTube, and he's like, I messed up. Like, do not follow my footsteps. Do not sacrifice everything and just sit in your basement like a turtle all day working on videos because upstairs your family's gonna be like, we don't even have a son. So there's a harmony there where spend time and value your family, but also just pour your heart and soul into your videos. And it's very tough. I don't believe in balance. Like there's no balance.
Yeah.
But if you can just understand what you value and make sure they're getting as much attention as possible in the order that you value it, I guess is the best way to put it.
Yeah.
That answers your question.
Yeah, totally. One other one a guy asked was, what do you think was the most pivotal moment that like propelled you to like getting to where you are today? Like from the times where you were, what do you think was like a hard point or like where you really struggled and you like doubted yourself going through it
The entire way. I
the
still
entire
do.
way?
Like, I
Yeah.
still don't think I'm successful. I still don't, I see myself as just a normal dude that wants to make videos. Like people come
Yeah.
up and like, it happens quite frequently where people come up and they're literally trembling, talking to me or like handing me their phone to take a picture. And it's like, brother, I'm just a normal dude that likes making videos and
Yeah.
people end up watching my videos. The most like every single day you doubt yourself and it's just a roller coaster.
Yeah.
Every single day I doubted myself whether I could make good videos. The point where it actually happened was when we posted the page video. But it was because of everything I had done the days before and the months and weeks and years before that had led up to the page video that allowed that to actually happen. It wasn't just because I did one thing right on one day. It was the days and hours
Yeah.
of just grinding that allowed it to actually come to fruition.
Yeah. Totally. Um, and the last one I have here from one of the guys is just like, what do you think are the biggest lessons you learned, and how many failures and setbacks do you think you had like along the way? Like, how many times do you think you had to push past something and be like, "Damn, okay, well, let's try this. Let's move this way. Let's go this way."
It's like it's literally every single day, but it's
Yeah,
just like it's on a different scale. It's some days I remember when we went to college for our first semester, we went to a local college, and I was editing every single video on YouTube, like tracers, shot cards, rough cuts, literally everything, taking everything from a 4 hour long video, turning it into a 30-minute video that you see on YouTube. And if you haven't done it, you wouldn't understand. But I would like just sitting there doing tracers because every single tracer we do is done by hand. And my mind would just like, I just couldn't handle it anymore. Like I'd done it for literally a year and I was like, I just can't do it. It's like my mind is numb to this now. And so we started training these two kids from our college who agreed. And once they were competent enough, and we paid them, like they got paid and everything, but the moment they were competent enough, they quit. And I remember filming, sitting in my car, filming myself, talking about what had just happened. I'm like, one day I'm gonna look back on this video and be like, okay, like I was like at the verge of tears. I was like, well, we did this, and they just quit on us. And now it's back on my plate, and it's like, damn, this is hard. Like, should I even keep pushing? Because at that point, we hadn't posted the page video. Like, we had no signs of actual long-term
Yeah.
success. So it was a grind every single freaking day. And I remember waking up because I'd go to the gym every morning before school, especially in high school. I'd wake up at like 4:30, and didn't miss a day for like 6 months. And I remember driving there listening to like Andy Frisella. I don't know if you know who that is, but it's just like you can't expect other people to believe in you if you have no evidence that they can like buy into. And it was that same thing, but it's just failure upon failure upon failure. But failures close certain doors and open others. So if we wouldn't have had those kids quit, we would have never found our main guy now that does all of our animations and tracers. So certain things happen for certain reasons, and the failing is the best part because it's just like I said it this summer to the boys. I was like, we literally failed our way to success. Like wholeheartedly failed our way to success. We're like, this didn't work, this didn't work, this didn't work, this didn't work, this worked. Let's keep walking down that path. And it's like, ooh, walking down that path, that didn't work, but that didn't work, and that worked. And then it's just like fail your way to success, and eventually it'll work out. Like the universe has a weird way of making things. If you put in the time and effort, and actually put in the time and effort, and actually want it bad enough, it will happen. And
Yeah.
anything you want, whether it's a car business, whether it's like a detailing business, whether it's like a TikTok shop business, or it's making YouTube videos. It's like if you actually want it, it will happen. You just have to be about it. You
Yeah.
have to be.
Totally. So Ash, you're 20, right?
20, yeah.
20? Okay. So just because like everyone else that's gonna be watching this is like around the same age as you, what do you think have been some like good habits that you have really like that you think have helped you get to where you're at today? Obviously, you said like you don't go out, you don't party. And obviously, like I feel like there's a good amount of guys like that might be in here that's still trying to avoid it. They might do it a couple times, but they don't do it a whole lot. What do you
Yeah,
think
I
have been
mean,
like some good daily habits like outside of that too, like good routines that you've been put into?
routines can be dangerous, and I'm like currently thinking about my routine. It's like to give you a quick breakdown, it's I wake up, I go to the gym, and I come back home and I work. And sometimes I don't feel like I'm as productive because I do think the gym can at times, if you go in the morning, you can like you get caught scrolling on your phone or whatever, so your dopamine, like getting real geeky, like your dopamine goes off and you've released more dopamine, so you're below baseline by the time you come back to work, so the work's not as stimulating. So um honestly, it's just like just brutal maniacal input just into whatever it is. Find what you want to do, find your North Star. So my North Star is making the best videos possible, and then everything else. And it's tough too because you're in school, so yeah, that's tough. That's really hard. I mean, I made it work while I was in school, so it's definitely possible. It's just like find what you want to do, find that North Star, and then give it as much attention as you possibly can in any regard. Like find any time and effort, like available time that you can put into it while ensuring that other things don't fall or alter as much as you like. You don't want your relationship with your family, like something I value, to like really suffer. So put as much as you can into that North Star. Every like if you're in between sets on your phone typing ideas, like if you're like driving, I'm listening to podcasts, or there's nothing playing and I'm thinking about how I can improve and make better videos. So it's any time, like no time can be wasted. because anytime that you race, someone else isn't, and then they gain the advantage and they have the edge, and then multiplied over 5 years, it's like good luck. Those guys are going to beat you.
Yeah.
So it's literally like the habit is just find the North Star and go as hard as you can at it, and just obsess as much as physically possible.
Yeah. Oh yeah, that makes I think you told me something just like that last time we talked. You kind of said the exact same thing, just summed it up a little bit.
Yeah,
I
it's
100% agree. It's definitely like that one thing. If you just put your top priorities and you put all your time into your things that mean most to you, it really like it plays out really well.
yeah, because it's like at the end of the day, if you're putting all you have into this one thing, it's gonna be really hard for it not to work because you're gonna
Yeah.
know every single thing in detail about it and how to improve it, and then you're gonna start learning at a rate that is more than your competitors or more than the market is learning. So if like you're learning 100 times or 100 things every single day and your market's learning 50, eventually you're going to outpace it and you're going to grow to the top. And I mean, I'm still not at a place where like a view thing just came out. And I think it was including short form, and we don't post short form, but like the top YouTube channels viewed wise came out, and we weren't even the top 100 golfy viewed channels. And I sent this to the boys because we have weekly Monday meetings. I'm like, boys, we're not even in the top 100. Look at all this room we have to grow. Like this summer, because it's easy to get caught up. Like you get a few 500,000 view videos, and you're like, oh, dude, like we made it, but you're not even close. You're not
Yeah.
even close to the top. So it's just that chase of just making better and better videos, improving every single time, and getting is. I think another big thing is getting detail oriented. So a lot of guys I find they don't care. They're like, this piece of hair on the thumbnail. It's fine. Like we go through probably like 20 or like probably for this page video that we're releasing today, we probably went through 15 thumbnail iterations of like, I like this text, but adjust the drop shadow to make it this way. Move the text here. Can you add a drop shadow to the red arrow? Her hair looks a little bit weird here. Like remove the hair because the wind was blowing. So it's just like maniacal obsession over the details, and that compounds. And if you do that every single day, you're gonna find yourself in a place where you're like, damn, I really did that.
Yeah. Yeah, that's awesome.
Yeah.
And then honestly, like the last thing I'd have is just like, do you have anything you think besides what we talked about would be helpful for a bunch of guys that are your age? Like what are just like got any small pointers, small tips you
In what
think
realm?
guys just trying to be successful? Like everyone that I think that's in here is just looking for more information than like what they already have. And like just like putting them in someone like your shoes who's done
Yeah.
a lot of work to get where they are. For a bunch of guys that are in college, haven't really started a whole bunch yet. What do you think would be
Yeah.
some key tips you think they could just even like small things that they could focus on like this year,
I
next year?
guess like yeah, I mean, I think the biggest thing that I actually missed in this call is that you have to just start. I literally talked about everything that I assumed everyone had started. And so I'm
Yeah.
assuming people back that you're referring like in the group, not every single one of them has started.
Yeah.
So if you don't start, nothing is going to happen. You can assure yourself in the next 5 years, if you don't start, you'll be in the same exact space or place. And that's like that I can't. I would never be able to live with myself with that. Like you just have to find that one thing that pushes you over the edge if you haven't started yet. Whether it be a girl that said something to you, whether it be your parents, whether it's yourself, whether you're like, I can't live with me if I don't do this thing, or if I don't at least try. Like thinking about Jeff Bezos has this frame where he's like this 80-year-old frame. At 80 years old, am I going to be upset that I tried this thing? So like Jeff, because I study a lot of the greats on my whiteboard upstairs, I have literally names of every single one. It's like David Ogilvy, Henry Ford, Michael Jordan, Kobe Bryant, Elon Musk, Walt Disney. Like I have just lists of these people that I study and read books upon, and Steve Jobs. And when Jeff Bezos was forced to make the decision to start Amazon, he was making, I think, probably remember the exact numbers, anywhere from like 500,000 to like 2 million a year, living in New York, hedge fund, like a quantum hedge fund, I believe it was something like that. And he's like, when I'm 80 years old, am I going to regret the fact that I didn't take the risk and start this thing that I believe could turn into? Well, he started it. He took the hit at the start. He wasn't making much money, had to ask friends and beg people to raise $1 million. And then now look at Amazon. So it's just like, just start. Just start. Stop making the excuses that you're in school. I was doing it in school. I talk to kids now in the gym and they're like, yeah, but I've got XYZ. It's like, okay. And when you get more, then what? It's like, say you do start and you have nothing. Say you just sit at home in the summer. You have absolutely nothing on your plate. Okay, you start and then you make the excuse of like, you finally get yourself to start. You have nothing on your plate. You can just focus. But then X thing comes up. Y thing comes up. School starts. Oh, I want to start getting bigger in the gym. It's like, you just stop. It's like, no. It's like you're always going to have things on your plate. You're always going to have something that's going on. But as long as you start and you keep that North Star and you hustle and obsess over it every single day, you'll find yourself in a better place in 5 years than you would if you didn't.
Yeah. And I was about to bring that up too, because that was like that was like your key point when you talked to me about a year ago. You're like, yeah, you obviously you said like, I know you're in the beginning, but anything you want to do, just make sure you get it started. And I totally agree for everyone that's listening to this right now. Yeah, like if you start right now, you'll be amazed at what you'll be looking like, and even a couple months from now. Like you'll be so happy that you started now rather than waiting and then starting in a couple months and then being at the place you would have been at now.
Yeah.
Like it doesn't hurt to start either. You can't lose anything by starting now. You can always, if you start, let's say in a couple months you don't like it, you can always back out if you really hate it. If it's something you don't see going anywhere, but at least you tried and you're not gonna regret never trying, like Ashton said. So
The worst thing that happens is you're in the same exact spot that you are now.
yeah, yeah,
Exact
totally.
spot. You just have a list of things that you learned and you can improve upon if you choose to. But literally the worst thing that happens is you're in the same exact spot.
Yep.
So
Well,
just
Ashton, I just want to say thanks for hopping on the call, man. This was great for all the guys watching. If you don't know who Ashton is, obviously I told you he's a part of Good Good. He's been doing YouTube videos for the longest time. He's been killing it. I talked to him about just over a year ago. I don't think I had that in the recording at the beginning. But from where he was then to where he is now, it's insane that that happened. Because even when I talked to him, he had this exact same mindset a year ago. And to see where he went from then to where he is now, everything he's told you worked for him. So it's to take it into heart and really put it into something, and we'll all be just like him. So I just want to say thank you for hopping on the call, man. It was great having you. I'll definitely stay in touch with you, and if any of the guys have any more questions, I'll reach out to you as well.
for sure. Just let me know. Thank you, Brady.
Yeah. Thanks, Ashton.
Yep. See
Have
you
a good
guys.
one, man.